The downward trend of China's economy is becoming increasingly evident, impacting various industries, with the catering sector facing immense challenges. A wave of closures is swiftly engulfing the industry. Since November, the business in China's catering industry has become more difficult than in previous years, with an increasing number of restaurants closing or being put up for lease. This chilling effect on the market has not spared even well-known chain brands or popular eateries, putting operators, employees, and suppliers in a difficult situation and drawing widespread attention. A head chef in China, who recently started his own business with a loan of about $40,000 from relatives and friends, has been brought to tears due to the lack of business, resulting in significant financial losses. Here, this man is a restaurant owner who, impacted by the pandemic, resorted to bank loans to sustain his operations. Unfortunately, he couldn't continue and recently had to close all 7 of his restaurants, leaving him overwhelmed by bank debts and interest payments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just look at this. It's only a part of it. All real names, each card alone amounts to 1.5 million yuan. I've calculated over the years, the interest shared with your platform has totaled over 1 million yuan, plus the card processing fees. Did I ever ask your platform for a delay when I was in trouble? Now you're pushing us to a dead end with no policy at all. What can we do? The pandemic led to the closure of my 7 restaurants. I have young kids and elderly to care for. How do you expect us to repay the loans when even surviving is a struggle? We don't want to be defaulters, but we are left with no choice. A well-known upscale restaurant in Changsha City, Hunan, named Dayu Haitang Seafood, suddenly ceased operations, leaving over 50 employees with unpaid wages ranging from 4,000 to 5,000 yuan, approximately 560 to 700 US dollars. Despite multiple pleas for help, the staff had no choice but to appeal for their rights, with some kitchen staff breaking down in tears over their strenuous work and unpaid wages.
Every day, preparing and washing ingredients is so exhausting. It really breaks my heart. How could the boss do this? I hope the boss pays our wages soon. We have no other demands, just to get our wages. We are already in our 40s and 50s, and now the boss disappeared without a word.
In addition to the unpaid wages, several restaurant members and suppliers have independently organized an appeals group, demanding refunds for the remaining balance on membership cards and payment for supplied goods. The group has over 100 members. One supplier alone is seeking to recover an outstanding amount of 58,000 yuan, approximately 8,200 US dollars. Chun Yu, a member of Dayu Haitang Seafood, mentioned, "I've spent a total of 100,000 yuan at this restaurant, and I still have 30,000 yuan left on my card." She also understands that Dayu Haitang Seafood owes the shopping mall tens of thousands of yuan in property management fees. Half a month before the closure, the manager of the Changsha branch of Dayu Haitang Seafood was still contacting regular customers for recharges under the guise of discounts and just doing their job. Dayu Haitang Seafood, known for its dining scale in Changsha's seafood circles, spans an area of 4,500 square meters, accommodating over 500 diners simultaneously, including more than 300 seats in the main hall and over 10 private rooms, with an average spending of nearly 400 yuan, approximately 57 US dollars per person. Guys, what's happening? I haven't been in Shanghai for a while, but the butter and bread shops under Xintiandi have all closed down. This store used to have long queues. I can't believe it's now easy to order at the popular milk tea shop. I remember before, you had to fight for 2 days just to get a cup of milk tea, but now it's readily available. A man visited the bustling commercial district in the center of Shanghai, only to find that many shops had fewer customers than before, with some famous old restaurants closed and empty storefronts continuously up for lease. The stark contrast prompted him to express his dismay at the changes. This man also said that in the current economic climate, it is not easy to make money in the restaurant business, and those without substantial capital should think twice before opening a restaurant. Guys, I just got back from Singapore and came to Guangzhou Huadu to grab a meal. A local driver recommended this Sunak Mall, said to be one of the better malls here. But look at the business here. This Lu Xiaofeng is a well-known restaurant, only 2 or 3 tables occupied. The 2 restaurants opposite are also empty. Guess what time it is? Let me tell you, it's 12:30 on a Friday, and there are hardly any customers in the mall. The man in the video speaks candidly, advising, "Listen to me, everyone. The current economic environment in China is too poor to engage in physical businesses. If you must, avoid doing so in shopping malls, especially if you are inexperienced. In these circumstances, I expect many malls will go bankrupt." This isn't alarmist talk, it's the reality of the situation. This is Jin Street of Kangshan Wanda in Fuzhou City, Fujian. Look at the shops here. 70% are for lease. See how many businesses have closed, many of them restaurants. It's too hard to run a physical store now. Lichang Wanda is considered one of the top malls in Qingdao City, Shandong. It's around 12 p.m. now, but there aren't many people in the mall. Let's head to the dining floor. It's lunchtime peak, and this Dafu restaurant only has about a 50% seating rate. Looking at other restaurants, this local Qingdao Kanji store, only about 30%. The hot pot restaurant, around 40%. The ramen shop, only 4 tables of customers. Another man from Qingdao revealed that foot traffic in shopping malls has halved, with restaurant occupancy rates during lunch peak hours between 20% to 50%, and some restaurants only serving 2 tables. Eateries that once required queuing are now easily accessible without waiting. China's restaurant industry is really facing a wave of closures. I did some searching and found that in the second half of 2023, the closure rate of various types of restaurants in China reached a staggering 70%. I also toured the city and found that business in the restaurant industry is generally weak, and even long-established restaurants of over a decade are transferring ownership. This small restaurant owner believes that the severe downturn in China's catering industry is primarily because people genuinely have no money to spend, affecting not only small establishments like his, but also well-known chain restaurants, many of which are struggling with debt. The second-hand catering equipment industry is also feeling the chill of the industry's downturn. Actually, from October this year, the restaurant industry has been facing a nationwide wave of closures. I saw some data just this year. Nearly 1 million restaurant licenses have been revoked or canceled. The restaurant industry in 2023 is really tough. If you want to know how the restaurant industry is doing, just ask the second-hand equipment recyclers. We're the first to sense it. Today, we came to the largest second-hand equipment recycling market in Guangzhou, Zhejiang, to take a look. After visiting, the man found that the second half of this year saw a significant increase in closed restaurants and received a lot of second-hand equipment, especially from kitchens and hot pot restaurants. However, very few of these items are being resold, as fewer people are opening restaurants. The surplus of second-hand equipment from milk tea shops also remains unsold. I'm in the restaurant equipment recycling business, and July of this year marked a turning point. The first quarter, right after the lockdown was lifted, was promising, and business was relatively good. Everyone was filled with confidence. However, as May and June rolled around, the performance of the restaurant industry took a nosedive, and everyone was merely hanging on. Come July, numerous restaurants couldn't sustain themselves any longer and started closing down in large numbers. Since July, we've been recycling equipment from over 15 restaurants each month, just in this category. One of the reasons for their closure is the sluggish consumer market, as people are hesitant to spend and prefer saving money. A mainland professional catering website, Red Restaurant Net, recently conducted field visits to various business districts and neighborhoods in Guangzhou. They interviewed restaurant owners from Beijing, Chengdu, Shenzhen, Shanghai, and other cities. Their findings indicated that the current temperature of the catering market was chillingly cold. Jiangnan West Circuit, one of Guangzhou's popular shopping districts, surrounded by large commercial complexes, has always had a lively atmosphere. However, a consumer from Guangzhou, named Momo, expressed shock at the speed of restaurant closures in the Jiangnan West district. She mentioned that a rice noodle shop she visited on a Monday was closing down by Saturday. Momo also noted, "A few days ago, I passed by and saw that the space for a rice noodle shop closed in August is still empty, with no one taking over." Zhanliuji, a rice noodle shop in the Jiangnan West district, has also ceased operations and is dismantling its storefront. Walking down the 2-kilometer-long road, more than 10 storefronts, including a braised meat roll shop, a fried chicken shop, a Thai food restaurant, a pig offal porridge shop, and a barbecue restaurant, have closed. Most of the closed shops are individual small stores, with a few being chain stores. The chilling effect on China's economy is increasingly evident. For example, among 4 adjacent restaurants, only a small snack shop remains operational, while the other 3 have shut their doors. In Tianhe South Road, known as Guangzhou's Beverage Street, the reshuffling of storefronts is even more ruthless. During a visit by Red Restaurant Net, 6 beverage shops in the area were up for lease or transfer, and another 3 to 4 shops were being barricaded. The report indicates that the bleak market conditions are not limited to Guangzhou, but are also prevalent in Shenzhen, Beijing, Chengdu, Guizhou, Changsha, and other regions. Some restaurants, despite their small scale, incur high costs on delivery and food platforms as well as rent. However, due to a steep decline in customer volume and other contributing factors, many owners find it unbearable and are forced to exit. In November, a Fujian-based braised food fast food restaurant closed, with the owner stating, "I took over this shop of over 50 square meters in April, with a monthly rent of 7,000 yuan. The daily turnover was only 600 to 700 yuan, and I couldn't sustain it, so I had to sell it." After losing nearly 200,000 yuan in half a year, the owner sold the restaurant equipment for only about 5,000 yuan. Not only small eateries are suffering under the strain, the popular fried chicken chain brand Zhengshin Chicken Steak, once ubiquitous across China's streets and alleys, is facing a precipitous decline, with nearly 10,000 stores shutting down. Zhengshin Chicken Steak, known for its fried chicken cutlets and targeting the casual snack market, began franchising in 2013 and rapidly expanded across mainland China, with store numbers surpassing those of McDonald's and KFC combined. According to data publicly released by Zhengshin Group, as of April 2020, Zhengshin Chicken Steak had 20,797 stores worldwide, 3 times that of KFC China and 7 times that of McDonald's China, selling over 720 million chicken cutlets a year. Red Restaurant Big Data showed that by 2021, the number of Zhengshin chicken chop stores had surged to 25,000. However, Chinese media reports indicate that Zhengshin Chicken Steak is facing a significant decline in franchisees. Data from Jiamen Catering platform shows that the number of Zhengshin Chicken Steak stores has dropped to just over 11,000, approximately returning to its 2017 levels. Liu Mengyuan, who once operated a Zhengshin Chicken Steak franchise in Henan, said many fellow franchisees like her have exited the business this year. Out of over 20 franchisees she knows, less than 7 or 8 are still operating. The primary reason for the closures is poor business. Liu Mengyuan revealed, "Look around the country. Which Zhengshin store still has a line? It's good if 1 in 100 can manage." Li Ke, who runs a Zhengshin Chicken Steak franchise in Hubei's Enshi, noted that of the 7 or 8 Zhengshin stores in his area, 2 have closed this year. His own business has also significantly declined compared to the same period last year, and he doesn't rule out closing down. Reports indicate that during the pandemic, the grab-and-go model of chicken chop shops became a way to reduce human contact. However, as lockdowns were lifted, consumers had more dining options, diminishing the advantage of grab-and-go, and contributing to the decline of Zhengshin Chicken Steak. Not just Zhengshin, but other brands like the Top Best Chicken Steak and Geely Chicken Steak have also experienced downturns. The number of Top Best Chicken Steak stores has fallen from 1,000 in 2021 to just over 300, and Geely Chicken Chop is down to only 7 stores. A franchisee from Anhui's Fuyang, who sells nuts and fried snacks, said that grab-and-go categories are indeed declining this year. His store's monthly turnover has dropped from nearly 200,000 yuan during the pandemic to just over 100,000 yuan. In reality, restaurant closures are a widespread phenomenon in China. Data from Chi-Cha-Cha shows that, from January to October this year, the cumulative number of newly registered catering businesses nationwide was 3.5 million, an increase of 374,000 compared to the same period last year. At the same time, the cumulative number of catering businesses revoked reached 1 million, compared to 538,000 in the same period last year. Many in the catering industry believe that business this year is even more challenging than in previous years. On one hand, consumer spending is down and foot traffic has decreased. On the other hand, the industry has seen a large influx of entrepreneurs, thus increasing competitive pressure. The most direct manifestation is the intense price war. From coffee and tea drinks to noodles, fast food, and various formal meals, merchants are resorting to price cuts, set meals, and low-priced group buying to attract consumers. However, the price war not only disrupts the catering ecology, but also accelerates the wave of closures. In this environment, many in the catering industry predict a large-scale wave of closures by the end of December this year. The dire situation described in the report has garnered public attention. One netizen commented, 8 out of 10 restaurants below our building have closed. It's not that they don't want to run their businesses, but the market is tough. Plus, the relevant departments are very stringent in enforcement. For instance, A bun shop was fined over 10,000 yuan for selling a bowl of tofu pudding. How many people are unemployed in this industry alone? The employment rate is portrayed perfectly, but more and more neighbors around me are taking a break at home. If this continues, stability and social harmony will become a problem. Another netizen believes that the high cost of retail space contributes to the difficulty. A square meter in a store can cost tens of thousands, and with high rent and utility costs, it's easy for restaurants to fail quickly, struggling to last even 1 or 2 months. A netizen going by the name Fo Shan Dragon commented, "The decrease in permanent residents from other areas has led to a decline in consumption. A quick glance at the current state of supermarkets will make this clear." Hu Jing, another netizen, stated, "The economy is just in a poor state. Our snack shop, located beside a shopping mall, was once bustling with generous spenders. Nowadays, people are cutting costs, only splurging on essentials. This trend is consistent across most shops, and the evenings are noticeably quieter with fewer patrons." China's economic downturn has markedly curtailed consumer spending power, prompting individuals to exercise greater caution in their daily expenses and favor more cost-effective consumption choices. As a result, there's been a notable drop in patronage at upscale and specialty dining establishments, posing challenges for numerous restaurants in sustaining their regular operations.